Haven't done this for a while. Hi guys, welcome back to my, I was gonna say vlog then, my video. It's actually been quite a while since I've sat down and physically filmed, but for you, you've had content from me from when I've been at Glastonbury, enjoying myself, enjoying my life, having that freedom back. And I thought I'd just sit down with you today and actually go through my sketchbook of some of the drawings I did whilst I was there, and just to slowly get myself back into the routine of working part-time as an artist. So any of you who don't know, if you're new to my channel, I am an artist who lives in the southwest. I primarily identify myself as a map maker. I don't really stick to one form of medium because I tend to find that my art will tell me the idea that I have will translate into a medium that best works for itself. So I could find an idea that I end up working with wood or something that I've never worked with before. It's happened quite a lot, and it always surprises me, which kind of keeps this relationship of wanting to be a full-time artist alive basically. And so we are just going to be going through my sketchbook. This isn't just the Glastonbury sketches I'm going to be showing you. I also did go to Cologne back in April. I know that's a while away, but I had a bit of a iffy with the transport home, and it didn't ruin the holiday, but I've been trying to sort that out. And because the main day that I wanted to go to all my art galleries and just sit down and draw was the afternoon / day that we found out our flight was cancelled home, and obviously that was our priority to get home. And it took us like 4 hours to sort out to be able to get home on time because we had to be back for work, and we also need to be back for a car. But yeah, I didn't get the chance to sit down. I only did a couple of drawings for it, but I wanted to add it on. But I wanted to mention it because it's still part of my practice, and it's very insightful. I like to look back at it and see how much struggle it was back then. All the little things that I think were more of a hassle. This is the 2 pages that I left off on. So this is when I went to Walsey, if I ever remember how to pronounce it. That was just 2 live drawings. I've actually got a vlog of it if any of you want to see it. I'll leave it in the description box. Next so these are the 2 drawings from Cologne, and I was catching up with the Great Pottery Throwdown, and they were just drawing stuff. Well, they weren't just drawing stuff, they were drawing elements of that's excited them or something. I can't really remember the episode because it was such a long time ago, but I just remember it was something to do with the Great Pottery Throwdown, and there were people just drawing random hands, any everyday objects, still life in the moment. So actually on the flight out we were delayed by like an hour, and something to do with weather. So I started to draw my own hands, and I started to draw the backs of people's the backs, if I can speak. You know, I haven't been doing this for a long time since I'm stuttering over my words. So we've got on this side my hands that I did a drawing, well obviously a drawing of. I used graphite, and it is just a quick little sketch that I did of my hands. Well, hand, should we say. I really did enjoy it actually. It simplified having to draw something that has a unique composition. Like, your hand is so underrated because you use it every single day. You're born with them if you're lucky. It's just one of those ones that I feel like I need to draw more of because they're actually very difficult hands to draw. I remember doing a lot of still life classes when I was younger, and back when I could afford them, when they were free. And they were all basically saying how difficult it is to draw hands because the hands are the same size as your face and your feet, and you can get the proportions wrong completely and it'll just look funny. And they were just very hard to draw because the perspective, the style of it, the contrast, the shape, the form, everything has to be correct. You can't just wing it, you have to get it right. But I think this drawing is actually quite good for about 15 20 minutes, I think. I don't even think I spent that long on it. But yeah, a bit of graphite pencil does the job. One thing I must say is that I did make this thumb a bit fatter because well, this is the wrong hand, but just use your imagination for this bit. I'll try with my other hand, shall I? Let's So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that, so you can kind of see. It was more natural than that. I think I just had it out like that on my lap and just drew it. Nothing too special, just decided to draw my hand. And next we have 4 little drawings of the backs of people's heads. I don't want to get their faces because I thought that was a bit weird if I just stared at their faces. This is in graphite as well, and I found it very therapeutic. You can definitely tell which ones I did first because this one was more of like a warm-up drawing, and as I got on I realised how to identify the light and dark shades quite quickly because the marks I used weren't so delicate, and I was able to identify the more contrasting features, which has landed me with this really nice one here. This one's quite good as well. I really like the back of the head, but this one just does it for me. Just does it for me. So unfortunately those are the only 2 drawings I took from Cologne, but I did take pictures when I was in the art gallery, the one that I managed to do, but there wasn't anywhere to sit and draw, so I couldn't. But there are obviously those bits that I can take away from it, and it's a perfect excuse for me to go back and get drunk. I loved the beer. The beer was just fabulous. It was like drinking water, but it didn't give you a hangover, which is amazing. I'm not really a heavy drinker anyway, but the beer was good. Okay, so Glastonbury Festival. So I took along with me my usual art mediums, which was like watercolour pens, which have been the saviour because ever since I bought them and did a review of them, I've just not stopped using them. They're great for out and about and exploiting colour. I did use a limited palette because I wanted to not just bring everything with me. I wanted to keep it much more towards the fact that you're meant to leave a lot behind. You're meant to sacrifice a lot to go see live music, and that's the whole point of Glastonbury. I feel like you're sacrificing the things you love to be able to see the thing you love. I wanted to replicate that some in my head, and also I didn't have much backpacking space, so it kind of worked. Okay, so the first one was just starting up a tree line. So I've got about 3 different colours in there. Yeah, 3 different colours. Sorry, in the film that bit looks red, but I was just like, I've only got 3 colours on there. So this is just a kind of a warm-up drawing for the start of the week. It's just 3 trees. I just thought, instead of trying to draw the colour representation, I wanted to draw what the trees were actually doing. And I really, really like this one. That one's quite a fascinating one. It would work really well as a liner print because you've got all the little different mark making sets, because you can see where I've used the tip of the pen and then use this yellow, which actually I left out and dried a little bit and just smudged it along the paper to create this rather feathered just waving you, rather feathered look, and then the straight dark brown lines to create the trunk, and then the purple to create the shade. Next up I did a mark making, is that even a word? A mark making drawing of the horizon line within, we stay in Tomsville, which is separate towards the back as well. A lot of the volunteers stay because it's our own field, and it's like, it just keeps us out of the main site basically. And I'll just show you it. Hopefully it'll be self-explanatory. I basically went a bit crazy with all the marks, and I wanted to create this really lovely line. So this contrasting line is actually the top of the tents. But obviously I was looking downwards, so there's loads of like tents in between from where I was sitting to all the way down, and then you've just got the horizon line of the trees. But I really love the effect of it. And I've also got the portaloos. Not portaloos, long drops. I just love it because it's just different. The marks aren't the same, so it creates this drama and busyness that I just like about it. And again, I would think it would work really well in a liner print. It's one of these ones I just have to keep on staring at until I figure out what I want to do with. So yeah. Next one. So this one was a warm-up drawing. So normally I do a warm-up drawing and then a proper drawing after a couple of sit downs. I did take a lot of pictures as well, not to draw from, but to memorize how I felt there and of the place I was drawing, to help me if I wanted to translate it into a different medium for on, and how I did that basically. So this one was a bit of a warm-up drawing, so I wanted to create something that was standing still. So I had a still object in the foreground or background or wherever it was, and then I was using the people to move across the page. And as I was doing it, I was moving the watercolour across. I would follow someone from point A to point B, and it would create this wheelie lines. And I created this basically. So those bins are the still point, and then I've just got some of these people who just sat down for ages, and then there's people just wandering about across. This is like a little umbrella that someone was walking by with. But I had the idea because I remembered back when I did oil pastel for still life drawing, and we had to draw from moving from point A to point B, but very, very quickly. And I really enjoyed the process, and I still got the painting actually still, and it still brings me great joy because I've actually framed it, which it's one of those nice little things. It makes you feel like you've actually worth something. But yeah, I do like this to some element, but I find that the bins are more interesting than what's going on. I just don't feel this is a good end product. The visually it doesn't work as much as the thought behind it, basically. And just for reference, this over here, I was trying to draw out a tattoo design and I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't get it. So that page will be used for something else, don't worry. Okay, so next we have, these two next drawings were still part of the one I've just shown you, of the bin and the walking people. But I'll just show you these both because they're quite lovely to look at, and I'm very proud. You know when you open up a page, like the first page of a book, of a sketchbook or something, and you actually nail it visually and it makes you excited, and it kind of gives you an idea of what the project's going to be like, and it just gives you that bit of excitement to keep yourself happy. This is basically it. So self-explanatory again. So after realising that the bins were interesting to look at, I decided to draw the bins. Very cliche, but I do love the colours that I've used with this, and I just really like it. I don't know why, something about these bins that they just look and feel cool. I'm trying to find a better word than cool because it just can't relate. Maybe it's the use of mark making, or maybe it's the space in between the colours, because you can see that I've left gaps, which work tremendously well when it comes to this, because if it was all joined up and in a block, I don't think it would have worked as well. And then on this side, I did it again. Show you quickly. This side, I basically was drawing those three people that sat down, but in different sizes and different colours. So you can see where I started off with the red first. So they was about this big, and then I got bigger, and then bigger again. Again, I took inspiration from doing a screen print a good few years ago now, and I just decided to replicate it, and it still worked out pretty well. Would be lovely as a screen print, but also would work as a liner print. I think a lot of drawings can easily be produced into a liner print because it's the same kind of process. The only difference is what you're drawing to what you're carving is that what you put down you can't get rid of or what you carve out you can't get rid of. So it's an all or nothing kind of situation. And then lastly, this is the last drawing, unfortunately. Because the rest of my days were just filled with joy and music and comedy acts. If any of you are wondering as well, I did do a vlog of Glastonbury Festival. I did it like an ASMR, so I took snippets of the festival and put them all together from start to finish, because I actually get to go in on the Sunday and then I'm there until the following Monday. And it was just a lovely 8 days that I just needed. You're exhausted by the end of it, but it is so worth it. Last but not least is It's actually of a urinal, but let me explain, or let me show you. So this fence is the urinal fence, and then behind it you've got all the tents. Not all the tents of Glastonbury, but a good selection of them, and I just wanted to draw the shapes in because I love the composition, the contrast between a flat surface to living quarters, and it just showed and demonstrated all the colours that I brought with me. Ironically, I always bring a bit of ink, but I never seem to draw in ink. I only ever tend to reach for the graphite and the watercolours because they're very convenient to use and you can get a lot out of them. Like with a graphite pencil, if you have like a 7B, you can use the point of it, you can use the side of it, and you can use the base of it. Same with the watercolour pens, you've got the very tip, you've got the side, and you've got the flat bit, if that makes any sense. So yeah guys, that's it. That's my drawings from both Cologne and Glastonbury. I hope you guys found it insightful. I hope you didn't mind me cheering your ear off. This sketchbook has a good... This sketchbook does have a good few drawings in, and I'm hoping to be able to fill it by the end of the year. If I don't, I'll just have to keep on bringing it with me for my travels, because that is who I am. I am an artist, and I'm hoping to get myself to a full-time degree. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, because I'll do my very best to answer them, because I'm sure there is something that I haven't covered on my channel, or if you're new here, something that I just haven't touched on or have repeated before but you just want to know anyway. So yeah, thanks again. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this, and don't forget to check out my links in my description box for social medias, and also more links to other videos, and also my eBay selling account, which is where I sell all my artworks that I feature on my channel. So if you'd like to do that, if you want to send a donation, I do accept donations as well, but if you'd like to buy an artwork, that'd be greatly appreciated. If you can't do any of them, please just subscribe, because it gets me just that little bit further into financial freedom. At the moment I'm on 220, so I've got 780 subscribers to go. Not to say I don't appreciate every single one of you that have subscribed, because you're just amazing. And it's nice to feel like all this effort, like I would still do this if I didn't get paid, but it makes my reality, my dream feel like a reality, and I can't wait for the moment when I'm able to leave my full-time job and go from part-time artist into a full-time artist. Who am I kidding? I'm a full-time artist with a full-time job. Basically, every minute I get, I spend on art, either vlogging, drawing, doing something arty. But yeah, that's a bit of a tangent, but thank you guys again. I shall see you later. Bye!